What time it is? It's Friday. So it's time for your hometown movie guys with opinions about all kinds of different things going on in the movie world and updating us on what's going on this week. We have Tina, we have Andy. We don't know where Craig is, but we're assuming he does. And we'll tell you more about that when we figure it out right here on KMOG. Anyway, thanks to our hometown movie guys for being with us this morning. How y'all doing?
Just never better.
Never better. Wow. And Andy?
I'm delighted to be here and being able to speak to the wonderful people out there in Radioland.
And I see you've got your zombie pizza cat sweatshirt on again today.
Space Pizza Cat!
Yes, it's and then I especially like the Donald Trump button with the real hair on it. That's,
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. And you know, it's a conversation starter.
okay. What other president in U.S. history has had so many people make fun of his hair? I mean, can you name one?
No, I cannot name a single one.
Or would we even think of making fun of the president's hair back in the day?
Who was it? Was it Taft or Garfield that was so big? It was like a 400-pounder.
I think Taft was rather jumbo.
Was he?
Yeah, so people used to make fun of him because of his weight,
Uh-huh.
but not because of his hair.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't see up that high. Anyway, we have a lot of things to talk about this morning, and of course, we always like to let you know what all's going on at the Sawmill Theaters. And you know, certainly at the top of the list, it was expected to be the #1 movie after this last weekend. I don't know how that's all shaken out yet, but Dumbo from your friends at Disney, right?
Disney,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Disney.
one of those obscure little production companies.
The Mouse House.
That's right, Dumbo, a young elephant whose oversized ears enable him to fly, helps save a struggling circus, but then Dumbo and his friends discover dark secrets beneath its shiny veneer. It plays at 1, 4, and 7. The 4 o'clock showing is in 3D. And reading a couple of reviews this morning out of the Wall Street Journal and a couple other places, not really getting high marks from some of the critics out there.
Yeah, Morgenstein is a big snooty pants, if you ask me.
It's big snooty pants.
Yeah, we're the real critics.
That's right. And if you can be critical of the critics, then you must be the
Yeah.
critics.
Oh, yeah.
So have either of you seen Dumbo yet?
No, I
No.
intend to see it today.
It's just starting today, isn't it?
Right, it's the new movie today. Do we, by the way, Randy, do we have a, no, we don't. Okay.
We thought we had a caller on the line, but they've left us.
They done RUNNOFT.
Number
Now,
one.
what's that line from? Come on, trivia. Oh, come on.
A movie.
No, it's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, that was a great movie.
I know.
I
They
like
done
that.
RUNNOFT.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Allison Krauss and Union Station.
Oh.
I mean, they did a lot of the music for that, and
Yeah.
I still think that is just some
Yeah.
of the best music put together in
Oh,
one movie.
that's a wonderful movie.
Plus, it was a hoot too. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
there's some really funny stuff in there.
Plus, it was modeled after the Odyssey. I mean, it was taken, it is the story of the Odyssey.
Really?
Yes, it
Oh,
really
yeah.
is. True.
I never caught
Yeah,
that.
they have the
connection.
sirens, they have everything.
Wow.
You know, Ulysses.
But I don't remember in Ulysses' version of the story anyone ever getting up on stage with fake beards, you know,
Yeah,
singing.
but remember, it was George Clooney and the Coen brothers. I mean, come on.
All right.
Yeah.
I
And there's
sit corrected.
a local tie-in too with our friend Stan the Movie Man Garner.
Right.
Stan
Oh,
the
yeah,
Train
yeah,
Man.
yeah.
He arranged the train for Brother, Where Art Thou?
Really?
Yep, and
Yeah.
he, it'd be great if we could get him to come back on the show. We haven't had him on
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, we should. That'd be great.
Yeah, but he,
I wonder if he could arrange to get a train for us to get across Tonto Creek down in Tonto Creek.
just write the check, buddy.
Yeah, that's always the right there. Well, anyway, Dumbo is. Have we had any financial numbers on this? Because this actually was released before today in other markets, was it not? Or is today?
No, today's
Oh, today is the day.
today's the grand opening everywhere.
Do we know how much they spent?
170 million bucks,
Wowzers.
which is that's quite a bit of money.
Mhm.
For an anime.
You know, I've seen.
Well, this is live action.
Yeah, I've seen the
Oh, wait,
trailer,
wait,
and,
wait,
and it does really look, I mean, they do a great job of trying to make it look like an elephant can actually fly. They gave him just a little bit, the eyes are a little bit too big and too emotion-filled, you know, to be anywhere close to believable, in my opinion. But then, I guess, why should I have a problem believing those eyes if I'm also trying to believe that the elephant can fly?
Losing his ears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big ears.
Yeah, there's a certain, as the phrase is, a suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
Is that the
That's,
way of saying
that's
it?
what critics call it, yes.
And some
We
people call it
critics.
the baloney factor.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, Dumbo, it sounds
And
like
you just want to sit back and forget all that
It's a
reality
fantasy
business.
like Mary Poppins, come
But
on.
there's some
Yeah,
big
actually,
names.
yeah, Mary Poppins can't actually fly, can she?
Sure she can. Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
But there's some big names in Dumbo. I mean, you know, Danny DeVito's in there,
Right.
and
Well, little name.
well, yeah, it's a short name.
You're so cruel.
But you know, some big names in it, so it's going to be interesting to watch. It's rated PG, so it's going to be good for the whole family. Again, plays at 1, 4, and 7, and that 4 o'clock showing in 3D currently.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Tim Burton movie.
Right.
Tim Burton directed it.
Didn't he do Muppets? No, not
He did. What's his name in The Giant Peach?
Yeah, George and the Giant Peach.
Yeah, I think somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody in
But
The
I mean,
Giant
he
Peach.
did Edward Scissorhands with Johnny Depp.
Didn't he, back in the,
did-
way back, was that H&R Puffin stuff that, wasn't he involved in that a million years ago?
Maybe, but he also did A Planet of the Apes.
Right,
He redid that,
wow,
yeah.
so he's a creative guy.
He's creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, what a creepy
Yeah, he
creative
did
guy.
a Nightmare Before Christmas.
There you
A
go.
Nightmare Before Christmas too, which
Right.
you know is a pretty creepy movie.
Well, and Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah.
if you ever saw that, that was a strange movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that was one of those that afterwards I was like, that's 2 hours of my life I'm never gonna get back.
Like, why?
Say, just what happened?
Yeah.
What was that?
Like, who was that? Yes, man.
Well, anyway, another great movie that's playing on the other end of things, this is rated R, and it's called Us, and it's a family's serenity turns into chaos when a group of doppelgangers begin to terrorize them. Now, this started, this has been out
It's
for...
been out for a couple of weeks, yeah.
And how's it been doing?
Oh, smashing!
Really?
Oh yeah, people are just rushing to go see this one.
Wow.
They spent $20 million on it, and so far they've grossed $114 million. So
Yeah.
huge
Good
return on investment. As we often see, not always, but we often see with horror movies. Certainly with the successful horror movies,
Right.
cost very little to make. Small cast. Often they're well. Sometimes they're the whole movie takes place in one set.
Right.
So, you know, low expenses, and as in this one, often they don't put in, you know, major league stars. You were mentioning the stars that are in Dumbo,
Mhm.
you know, Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Michael Keaton, Eva Green, Alan Arkin.
Well, there's some names that go back a ways, too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
with a, you know, a very well-known director, music by Danny Elfman. So, I mean, everybody has heard of these stars.
I haven't seen Michael Keaton in too many things lately.
Birdman was several years ago, was his most recent success. It was a widely acclaimed Academy Award.
I
winning
personally really liked the angle that he had playing Batman.
I do too.
Because it
Yeah.
wove in some humor into his character and everything. I thought he pulled that off pretty good. But also, what was the Beetlejuice? Now
Yes.
that was a bizarre movie, but it was.
And that was a Tim Burton.
But they
Tim
made-
Burton again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made it very entertaining. I mean, I think if that was on TV, I'd watch it again.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is probably more popular in reruns
Right.
than it was.
It didn't do that great in the theaters first go
Yeah,
around.
it wasn't a big smash. You know, it wasn't like Planet of the Apes.
Right, interesting. All right.
But anyway, Us is done by the same people that did shoot.
I don't think I heard that movie before.
Tina,
Ah,
what did they do a couple of years ago
ah,
about the,
I'm not sure.
well, anyway.
A recent movie.
Does sound like I know something.
Yeah.
Well, the movie Us, it does play at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. That is rated R.
And good use of doppelganger is, you know, that, we don't come across that word very often.
Right, and for people that are saying, what the heck's a doppelganger, Mater? Well, doppelganger is someone who, I guess, looks just like you, right?
Mhm. Well,
A
and
double,
Yeah.
it's your double and not always a positive entity.
yeah.
It has this cast to the word of sort of your evil twin,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I think.
Yeah.
German for evil twin.
Yeah, German for evil twin.
Well, again,
Doppelganger.
again, that movie is rated R. There's another R-rated movie called Greta that's also playing, and that's about a young woman who befriends a lonely widow who's harboring a dark and deadly agenda towards her. Plays at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. Now, is this just starting today here?
No.
Now, has this been on for a week or so?
Yep, been on for a week.
And how's that been going so far?
Oh, not so hot.
But Andy saw it.
Yeah, I did.
And-
It has, this is not a horror flick, it's a kind of a suspense thriller.
Mhm.
This Greta person is a lonely elderly woman, or older woman in any case, probably in her 60s. And
Yeah, careful what you're calling elderly here.
Yeah.
Watch that.
And she's not nice.
Hmm.
And what she does is she leaves very nice designer knockoff purses with her address and some money and so on, and as if it were a real purse, leaves them on the subway in New York in the hopes that somebody will return them.
Right?
And then, well, I won't.
Come
And
into
then-
my
and
parlor,
then-
Yeah,
the
come in.
spider to the fly.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's not at all what it seems, and it's pretty horrifying what happens to the Good Samaritans here.
Right.
And Chloe Grace Moretz, who we know fondly from her role as a hit girl in Kick-Ass.
I don't think I've
Say,
seen that one.
could you say those two again?
Hit girl,
In.
Kick-Ass.
I love that.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah, really. You
Bring
are
your
very
camera.
extra.
I know, so,
Anyway, Chloe Grace Moretz is just 21. She's already got 68 acting credits.
Wow.
wow.
And Tina, I'm sure you'll remember Let Me In, about the
Oh.
12-year-old vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That was Chloe when she was quite a bit younger.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Isabelle Hubert.
Well, good for you.
Yes, it is. Elle est française.
Yeah.
So the Greta movie itself, I mean, the critics haven't really liked this one too much?
I think the critics liked it, the public doesn't.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you? You're the public.
I was not satisfied with it. I was appreciative of, and to be fair, I really don't care for kind of ooky kind of movies. I don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, any of that kind of stuff. And this Greta person kidnaps and tortures her victims.
One of those movies that doesn't leave you with a warm, fuzzy feeling.
No, and when I come out of the movie theater, I want to come out singing and all happy and say, boy, that was really good, man. Like for instance, in
Even like in Cold Pursuit, we came out singing and dancing.
yeah, because it was fun. It was fun.
It actually was. I mean, it was in a sort of twisted way, but that's us, right?
I have a daughter and granddaughter who both just love going to see scary movies. And when you ask them,
Well,
it's like...
scary and gory are two different things.
But,
Yeah.
certainly true. But I mean, they love to just, be scared out of their wits. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, to me, why pay money to do that? I can just invite some of the relatives over.
I could just live my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Hey, well,
But some odd things about this too. It's the setting for Greta is New York City.
oh, I'm sorry.
Is actually filmed in Dublin.
What?
Yeah, and the movie was made.
Where in Dublin does it look like New York City?
Well, they
The
don't do
subway?
any panoramas.
Yeah, I was going to
The
say.
subway?
And the subways.
That was
It's
probably
really
studio,
funny
right?
when
Yeah.
you see when you see the subways, because they're obviously not New York, but the subway cars all have American flags, poster-sized American flags on each car, so that the movie
makes it look like
so the movie viewer knows that, well, yeah, that's right, this is New York.
I don't think New York has American flags.
No, but it,
They have graffiti.
well,
Well,
I don't know what they do, but graffiti was banned by Giuliani.
Oh, really?
It may have come back now.
Was that before or after they banned soft drinks?
Oh, no,
No,
that's
that was
de Blasio.
before. That was
Oh, okay.
De Blasio did
De Blasio
that.
was the control freak of the universe.
And don't candy coat it for us, Tina.
Yeah.
Tell us what you really think.
I'm cranky again.
In any case, the Irish Film Board coughed up about $1 million for him to make this movie in Dublin. I mean, that was, that's the deal. You have to do it in Dublin. And then these guys peddled it at a film festival, and the distributor bought it up for $6 million.
Wow.
So, and it's only taken in 11 million at the box office.
So got a ways to go on that one.
Well,
It could happen.
it could happen, yeah. And then, of course, a lot of the revenue that comes in from movies comes in from TV, later TV things, and DVDs and that sort of stuff. So yeah, they'll be okay. They'll make their money back. And the guys that got the money from the Irish Film Board and made it and then peddled it for $6 million, they came out happy.
Right.
Dude, they're paid.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Yeah.
They're,
Well, I'll tell you what, we have to take a fast break, and when we come back, we
Greg
have a
is here.
surprise guest who's going to be joining us.
oh boy!
Yeah,
I gave
stick
it up.
around. More to come right after this.
Sorry.
Are you Welcome back to Rim Country Forum. 23 minutes past 9 o'clock, 56 degrees, and talking with the movie guys, as we told you earlier, Tina and Andy with us in the studio, and now a surprise guest by the name of Craig. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, obviously, you keep him busy these days.
Yeah,
We
should
fixed the popcorn machine or what?
No, we had a group down there at the theater, so
Oh, yeah.
had to get them in and watching their movie.
And that, that's another good point that we haven't talked about in the last few weeks, but we need to, and that is that, if people are having a birthday party, or even if you want to do like a special presentation to, maybe clients or something like that, you can actually rent out to one of the theaters, either do a PowerPoint presentation, or you can actually have one of the movies that's currently playing, played for your own private screening.
Yes, yeah, that's what we got going on now.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, if I, have, let's say I want to throw a birthday party and I want to have cake and maybe a piñata and stuff like that, what does it cost me to invite, some of my very conservative friends?
Well,
over to
if
smack
we're doing
them?
birthday parties, we got $100 for up to 10 kids.
Wow.
We put a table in the theater,
So
balloons,
you don't do
small
birthday
drinks, small
parties for
popcorn.
adults?
You know what, usually if it's, we also have like a group rate too, which is just $7 a person,
Right.
which includes a small drink and small popcorn with it.
Very cool.
And, a minimum of 20 people, so
Right.
a little bit of different, it works out about the same, but.
Right. And so likewise, if we want to, have a place to maybe do a business presentation or something like that, you just need to
Oh,
have,
sure.
have about 20 people or so that are.
Sure, yeah. We've had quite a few little seminars in there, or
Nice.
different presentations.
Very cool. All right, and again,
There was a friend of ours last year to celebrate his birthday, invited his friends to see Son of Paleface.
Yes, that
I
was
mean,
so
that,
fun.
I mean, that was just
Yeah.
really fun. It was
Yeah, and he
just
was a young guy.
Yeah.
He was in his 20s,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just
Bob-
way
with
fun.
Bob Hope. I mean,
Yeah.
it was fabulous.
So let your mind kind of roam around this idea. It's really a fun event.
well, I think it'd be a great idea.
It doesn't cost too much either.
And
And I have to mention the classic movie because Rim Country, I made a boo-boo. Those of you
hold
to whom...
it. Stop the presses.
Oh,
Tina
okay.
made a mistake.
Well, I thought I did, but I was wrong.
Okay.
I said that the classic movie was this Saturday, forgetting that there are 31 days in March. I should have done the rhyme to myself, 30 days after.
So it's not actually, it's a week from
No,
tomorrow.
it's a week from tomorrow. So please, those of you within my voice, tell your friends, tell everybody, you gotta come, but not tomorrow.
And so what movie's playing next
It is
week?
North by Northwest, Alfred
Oh,
Hitchcock,
that's
Cary
right.
Grant, Eva Marie Saint, and James Mason as a bad guy.
And when was the last time you had a chance to see
Oh,
that on the big screen?
Man, and to see Cary Grant on the big screen, I mean, he could read the telephone book, I would be fine.
And we need to vote on that day
Yes,
for a comedy for April.
yes,
Comedy
We,
for
we,
April.
we kind of settled on that, we're gonna do a comedy, but we're not sure which one.
yeah.
Blazing Saddles up there.
Woo!
Wouldn't that be
Or
a
the
comedy
producers.
for May?
Producers?
The producers.
May, yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Well,
Oh my God,
and
it's
it's,
April already.
the producers,
Wow.
Springtime for Hitler, it might be really perfect, May.
Seasonally
So
correct.
Seasonally correct.
you're wanting to do a comedy.
Comedy,
Yes,
yes.
we want to do a comedy.
We're settled on that.
So bring your suggestions, Room Country, and come a week from Saturday. It's the 6th of April, I believe?
It's April 6th.
Yes, because I'm.
North by Northwest.
My birthday
Monty
is the
Python and
day
the Holy
after.
Grail.
Oh, there you go.
That would be my vote.
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian, yep, right up there with it.
Yeah, we can offend
I'm
everybody.
feeling much better. Anyway, we've got just all kinds of interesting suggestions here this morning.
And some of you, I hope, know that I'm an author. I've got a couple of books out, but I'm working on one currently, and I refer to lavender and hamsters in the course of the book. So I thought you'd enjoy that.
Your mother smells like elderberries. Anyway, we've got, so that's all, the Classic Movie Saturday. It's the first Saturday of every month, so that'll be a week from tomorrow.
Yes.
And again, a great Alfred Hitchcock movie to
Oh, I
to watch on the big screen.
mean,
That'll be
to see
interesting.
that, you know, there's a chase down Mount Rushmore. I mean, this is epic.
A chase down Mount Rushmore. I don't
Seriously.
think I've ever seen this movie.
Yes, and it's 2 hours and 16 minutes long, because I looked it up.
Stay away from the nose, you'll slide down that
Really?
thing. Yeah.
And if you are planning on coming, it would be a good idea to get there early, because we get a full theater sometimes.
Well, I know when
Yeah.
it came to, what was it, The Sound of Music?
White Christmas?
Or White Christmas Day
Yeah.
was one of those movies.
It's
Anyway,
hard to
when
find
when
a
that was,
seat.
yeah, we showed up like just, shortly before it started, and
Huh?
we
Forget about it.
ended up in the front row.
Forget about
Yeah,
it.
I spent the rest of that week at the chiropractor.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun, we enjoyed it. And there is something really cool about, especially these classics, to be able to
Yeah.
see them on the big screen again, there's just something special about that. Well, we told you already that playing today at the Sawmill Theaters, Dumbo gets underway, also two scary movies, Us and Greta, and those are both rated R. But now on some other ones that would be good for the kids, another one that's rated PG is Wonder Park. Wonder Park is a magnificent amusement park where the imagination of a wildly creative girl named June comes alive. It plays at 1, 3:10, 5:20, and 7:30. What do we know about this one so far?
Good kids movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is one for the little ones.
Right.
Nothing too offensive in here at all. Good for the whole family.
Very cool. So again, a great opportunity for the
yeah.
kids to have something special just for
And then
them.
it's a quick one. It only runs, I think, an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, that is quick, yeah.
So if you got, especially little ones that can't really sit still for too long,
Mhm.
it's a good one for them also.
Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? Yeah, okay.
And the bad guys, this is an animated movie, and the bad guys at this theme park,
Mhm.
amusement park, are stuffed animals,
Okay.
plush animals that have come to life, and they're referred to in the movie as chim zombies.
Chim
Oh,
zombies.
oh, oh.
So we
yes.
had to know that Andy be chiming in on that one. Yep.
Well, I want people to know what they got to look forward
They
to.
expect it from you, Andy.
There you go.
And you get it.
Yes, this is true.
Also rated PG, another one for the kids, still playing for at least a little while longer, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Now, this has been playing for a number of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been here for a bit. I think this will probably be its last week.
How's it been doing?
It did great.
Now, this is
It has been here for a while, so it's kind of tapered off now, but
Now, this is the second in How to Train Your Dragon.
third.
But this is the third.
one, yes.
Gosh, how did I lose track?
Yeah.
But all of those, obviously, I mean, if they keep doing them, they must be making
No,
money.
these are pretty popular.
Yeah.
This one's done well. It's made money, and another good one for the whole family.
And my understanding, if I remember correctly, from How to Drain Your Dragon, I gotta go drink my
Never
dragon.
mind.
I'll be right back. Anyway, digging a hole here. I should stop digging. Anyway, with the whole idea of the first one, at least one of the things that I noticed was there was another one of these movies that the kids are wildly entertained, but there's a little bit of humor woven in there that keeps a smile on the face of the
A
adults.
little bit. I think that's the difference between How to Train Your Dragon and Wonder Park.
Right.
There's a little, you might have some innuendo thrown into
Right.
How You Train Your Dragon, where adults might like it a little bit more.
Right.
I think Wonder Park is really more geared towards the kids.
Has that one been making money?
Wonder Park, or
How to Train Your Dragon.
oh yeah, no, it did well.
Yeah.
These are pretty popular. Like you said, it's the third one, and
Right.
they cruise along.
Very cool.
How to Train Your Dragon is pushing up against $500 million, so
Wow.
they're doing fine.
And what did they pay to make that?
Quite a bit, 129.
Well, still,
That's $129 million for an animated feature. So
it's still got a good ROI on that already.
yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Wonder Park is they're losing their potatoes on this one.
That's what they're still wondering about Wonder Park, apparently. How to pay the bills.
The reviews weren't real good on Wonder Park.
Right.
It's pretty much geared towards little ones.
Yeah, and you know, if you're doing a movie towards 3-year-olds, you have to keep in mind that they don't have any money.
That's right. Tell your mommy and daddy to take you to see the movie. Well, now rounding out the slate of great movies at the Sawmill Theaters this week, Captain Marvel is still playing, and I'd say Captain Marvel is looking marvelous in this one. Rated PG-13, plays at 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15. Carol Danvers becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between two alien races. I'm sure this has been doing gangbusters.
It's pushing up against $1 billion worldwide. Yeah, that thing is right. You know, this is part of the Marvel Universe, the Avengers movies.
And don't we have
we do.
the big Endgame?
Less than a month. April 26th is Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
3 hours and 2 minutes.
3-hour movie. Wow.
Just a little over 3 hours yet. It's gonna be the longest Marvel film to date.
Is there a
Right.
chariot race?
Huh, I know.
Did the butler do it?
Parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah, right, that
um,
too.
Wow.
No, but this is really the only question with Endgame is how many records it's going to break. This is be one that is going to 250 million, 300 million to make this movie.
To make it.
To make the film, and it might make that 250 back in the first 3 days. That's how. These things are huge, and of course, the last one kind of left off with, half the universe is dead.
Everybody's
and,
dead.
Yeah, half the, Thanos, the bad guy, snaps his fingers, and 50% of the people in the whole universe die. So it's a huge cliffhanger there, and lots of good stuff coming up.
Killer story. We have to take a fast break here to get you caught up on weather, and when we come back, we're going to tell you a little bit more about what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters, but we also have a number of other interesting questions, including maybe an opportunity for you to call in and try and stump our movie experts with your movie trivia questions, whatever they might be, at
Perhaps
474-2427.
Obscure movies.
And you have a bunch of information on obscure movies.
I'm very obscure.
Yeah, even more obscure than a gross of
Than-
zombies?
Then Cranky.
Yeah. We'll find out more.
So let's hit next week too. I've got Shazam comes out. Well, Shazam and Pet Cemetery on Friday, but Shazam we're going to do a 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock show on Thursday.
Now, is Shazam taking off on the old cartoon from back when? I
Yes.
remember
When
that.
is that?
Who's playing the genie or the whatever he's called?
I don't know who the guy is. Watching the trailers, I thought it looked like garbage, but it's getting great reviews. He said it's a really good movie. So
That's interesting.
yeah. This little girl pops up and you just see his foot right there, and she's got a scalpel.
Oh!
Oh no! Yeah, she's
I
gonna.
don't know, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, we're going in 30 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might have to see Shazam.
See North West.
Okay, so, never mind, we'll find out in just a second.
Sure you will. Obscure movies.
We're gonna get some weird questions.
Call or text 928-468-6164.
24 minutes in front of 10 o'clock, 57 degrees, looking for that high of 66. Again, your 7-day weather forecast coming up in just a little bit. This morning, as we do on Fridays on Rim Country Forum, talking with the movie guys, and we've got Tina, Craig, and Andy with us in the studio, and taking calls from you at 474-2427. You've got an interesting movie trivia question. You think you can beat the movie guys? Give
The
us
hometown movie
the
guys.
hometown
by
movie
the
guys.
way. Yes.
And well, the hometown 2 movie guys and
I'm a movie guy.
Tina. All right, anyway.
A movie goddess.
Ah, there you go. Oh, she liked that. Suddenly became ungrumpy. Again, if you weren't listening earlier, at the Sawmill Theaters this week, Dumbo is playing, rated PG, good one for the kids. Also a couple of R-rated thrillers, Us and Greta, and then more for the kids, Wonder Park. Also Captain Marvel and How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. You can always go online, find out what's playing and when it's playing by just logging on to sawmilltheaters.com, or you can call 602-377-0719.
And if you've already seen Captain Marvel, but you've only seen it once or twice, I'd recommend going back and giving it another shot. One of the really terrific things and about the Marvel Universe movies and what makes them so popular is the detail and the intricacy of the stuff around the edges.
Really?
For instance, I'll just give you an example. I've seen the original Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know, 7 or 8 times. It's on TV now,
Right.
you know, pretty regularly. And about a couple of weeks ago, I was watching it, and at the beginning of the movie, the Star-Lord is a little kid before he gets kidnapped by the aliens, and he's wearing a T-shirt about advertising a raft trip down the Colorado River. Well, spool ahead, about 15 minutes into the movie, and Star-Lord is a grown-up. He's a reaver. He's out stealing stuff, and he makes a daring escape. And in his spaceship is just completely turned upside down and sideways and stuff at a rapid rate of speed. And a very confused young lady named Brit comes up from the depths of his spaceship, and she's wearing the same T-shirt.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen it, like I say, 7 or 8 or 9 times, and that's the first time I've noticed that. So go back, look at Captain Marvel, and look around the edges of the movie. Look for things that are put in there by the director and to entertain you.
So let me ask my rhetorical question for the day. So did you like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, I'm starting to get used to it.
I love it. All right. Now, Tina, you had mentioned that we're going to look a little bit at some obscure movies. And really, when you look at the number of movies produced, vastly outweighs the number of successful movies. So, I mean, we can go down a lot of different rabbit trails here with obscure movies, probably.
Well, I have this wonderful book that was a gift, and I've read this several times, and I've seen a lot of these movies, but it's called Never Coming to a Theater Near You.
Ah, okay.
And it has all these, now small movies, but because we have Netflix, because we have Prime, Vudu, you know, you might see these, you might have access to these. But one of the ones I really like is one called Ronin. It was 1998.
I remember that.
And I think it was directed by John Frankenheimer, who did The French Connection, if you'll remember that. And he also did Birdman of Alcatraz, The Train, The Manchurian Candidate, the original Manchurian Candidate.
And the Birdman of Alcatraz was, I remember as a kid, I loved that movie.
Yeah, with Burt Lancaster and I forget who, well,
And
that was.
some birds.
And Burt Lancaster, and yeah, some birds. And Burt Lancaster also started on The Train, and I haven't seen The Train. I don't even know if it shows up at all, but man, that's a good movie. That's a really good movie. And then 7 Days in May, if you remember that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but I mean, just this.
I didn't realize Ronin was an obscure movie.
Well, I know.
But boy,
but
no,
it's good.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
really
it
good.
is just
Who-
really
yeah.
terrific.
Who had the lead? Because I remember seeing that. Who played the lead?
It's Stellan Skarsgård, or Stellan Skarsgård,
Or
and Sean Bean, and then
Sean Bean has just a wonderful, wonderful role
he is
in
yeah.
this.
Yeah. He's a British weapons specialist.
Yeah, well, he's a
Yes.
fake.
I know, but still.
he's a British weapons specialist faker.
Yeah.
And he gets tangled up with actual weapons specialists. But boy, there's a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff in this
Well, and
movie.
Jean Reno is in that, who is
Yes,
also
your
in
favorite.
one of my favorite is what's it called? The Professional.
The Professional.
Except it was originally The Professional, and then it became Leon the Professional. So if you are looking, because I think they had to distinguish it from other movies.
Some other movie.
The Professional, but he is wonderful.
Starring Natalie Portman as
Oh,
a
yes,
little
as
girl.
a very young 12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But geez, Ronin is good. There's
It's a good movie.
De Niro.
Yes.
De Niro there's one scene where De Niro gets shot and using a mirror, he takes his own bullet out. I mean, what?
I
Yes.
remember that.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, it's just great movie making, and it's really fun. And I'm surprised that it's in the obscure movie book. I mean, I like it so much, I just figured
Well,
everybody knows about it.
And they might, yeah.
All right, so lay another couple of obscurities
Okay,
on us.
Wag the Dog.
Oh,
If you
jeez.
remember it now, there's a comedy for you.
Yeah.
A black comedy. It has Dustin Hoffman and Robert De Niro and Anne Hesh. And it was, I believe it came out right at the time where there was some question about whether this was happening in real life.
Yeah,
Where
right at the time, the beginning of the Iraq War.
That's correct. And they staged this war in order to get, the people to respond to it, but it's all staged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most politically incorrect movies that's ever been made, and I was
I
surprised.
mean, even
how-
worse than Blazing Saddles?
Well, that's different. That's a
Oh,
category.
okay.
That's a whole category. I mean, Mel Brooks, it's a whole different category. But it really is funny.
Politically incorrect.
Politically
okay.
incorrect, and really to stage a war. Has this ever happened in real life? What do you think, Grim Country? I mean, yeah, of course they have, and the idea of having a war in order to be able to sell weapons, in order to be able to, take spoils, whatever that is. But that's a great movie. Everybody should see that. Maybe we should
Interesting.
have that as a classic movie. right?
So, is there, Craig, if I'm asking you, when it comes to obscure movies or, things that maybe never really made it big, is there one out there that comes to your mind that you really liked?
Yeah, some of these, you call Lake Placid obscure.
Right?
It's a giant crocodile in Lake Placid.
Which is a
With,
pretty cool
Yeah.
lake, by the
that was-
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Betty White's in that, and
yeah.
Oliver Platt.
Hunt?
Helen Hunt.
No, not Helen
Not
Hunt.
Oh.
Helen. Yeah, a great cast that one though, and it's one of those. Deep Blue Sea was a shark movie.
That was awful.
I like Deep Blue Sea.
Crash of the critics.
Craig, you think Andy's a critic or something?
It's
Yeah,
obscure,
watch
I
out for
guess.
him.
Yeah.
He'll set the zombies on you.
There is a great shot in Deep Blue Sea though, where this guy's up giving a very pedantic lecture, and then out of nowhere, this gigantic shark comes and bites him to shreds. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Man.
Yeah.
That's
And he hardly ever gets killed in movies, and boy, the shark just ate him up.
But for every good movie that's made, there's
Oh, yeah.
probably 100 just awful films.
Right?
Prime Video right now has got all these kind of just loaded with obscure films, and some are just awful, terrible movies that you can't even get through. Yeah.
All right, so, and in your opinion, Tina, as far as the really obscure movies, your very favorite, very
my
obscure
goodness.
movie?
That's terrible to ask me that. I was just
I'm a
going to tell you
terrible
another
guy.
one that I love
Oh, okay.
is if anybody's ever seen Waking Ned Divine.
Waking Ned
I see.
Divine.
Now Andy loves it. I can tell.
Oh God,
What
yes,
a
that's
fun
a wonderful,
movie.
wonderful movie. Oh
Yes.
my God.
It's an Irish movie,
It sure is.
and it's about a dead body and a lottery ticket.
Oh, yeah,
It's
there's,
just
it is,
hysterical. And naked old guys
yeah, that's,
on motorcycles.
that's pretty awful.
Thank God this is an obscure movie.
Well, thank God it's radio.
Yeah, really.
But Waking at Divine is just a absolute delight. There, when I first discovered it, I made my 10-year-old Cub Scouts watch it.
Oh, you're a sick
That's,
man.
I mean, that's how much I liked it.
Oh my goodness, you're totally a
Waking
sick
Ned Divine,
man.
I'm not even sure I've ever even heard of that.
No, and it's the whole thing is set in just a little teeny weeny little Irish village way out in the northwest corner of Ireland, really back of beyond, and these people are authentic back of beyond Irish people. It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, and the two leads are these really old guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the story is that Ned Devine wins the Irish sweepstakes, but he's dead.
But by the time he wins, he's dead.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But somebody's got to collect.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't want it to go to waste. So the village gets together and in their own Irish way, they make they make Ed Devine into a winner. It's just amazing,
It's
amazing.
really, it's so
And
funny, yeah.
believe me, it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh, thank you, Tina.
You're
I haven't,
welcome.
I haven't thought about that in
Well,
years,
see,
and boy, I just love that
Old
movie.
synapses are firing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and find out a little bit more about some of these obscurities. And if you want to chime in, give us a ring, 474-2427, the number to call.
Our computer is
Did you ever see the, it's a PBS series, The Irish RM?
No.
Another wonderful,
Really?
wonderful series.
Irish RM.
Yeah, and it's RM is resident magistrate, and this is back in Victorian times. A retired British Army officer from the Indian Army retires, and to supplement his income, he becomes the local magistrate in rural Ireland, and he has to deal with the Irish people, and it is just hysterical.
Yeah, I will look for that.
Sweets by Kim Ross.
Zoolander.
Great new inviting
Oh.
See, there's another, yeah.
Wow.
This book is great. Zoolander, you know you love
Zoolander is not.
It's
They think
obscure.
that's obscure.
Well, it's 2001, you know, it's a while back, you know?
Zoolander and Zoolander 2.
Yeah, had Ben Stiller.
All right, so Andy, we
So-
haven't heard your favorite obscure movie yet. I'm almost afraid to ask because
Yeah,
you seem to
really.
be the king of obscure
Well, he
movies.
is.
It's gotta be zombies.
Yeah, zombies.
They've taken special care in designing a warm and comfortable
No.
environment to make you feel right at home.
I won't do a
Learn
zombie.
more online. Wow. Let me make a note here.
Yeah,
Mark it on the calendar. On this
Yeah.
date,
On this day.
he was asked a question about movies and didn't talk zombies.
Zoolander's great, Will Ferrell's in there.
In what?
In Zoolander.
Oh.
Owen Wilson, that's, you know,
Yeah.
Owen Wilson, that's what, he is just fantastic.
Did you ever see
This is Tanya.
Bottle Rockets?
Donald
Cleaning
Trump,
to tree trimming, pruning,
What?
elevating,
Donald
and
Trump
removing
has a
hazardous
cameo in
trees.
Zoolander.
Really?
Seriously. And David Bowie.
There's some extreme.
Yeah, Donald Trump, Paris Hilton, and David Bowie all have cameos in Zoolander. We'll have
I
to-
wonder how Paris Hilton's doing. I haven't heard
I
anything
know,
from
she's
her.
been off the charts for a
I
while.
just like her.
Here we go, 4 seconds. At your service, cleaning and tree service. Coming up on 10 minutes in front of 10 o'clock, 57 degrees, and again, another beautiful day out there. We're 57 right now, looking for a high of 66, and so just how long can you expect all the sunshine to hang around? Well, complete look at your 7-day forecast coming up in about 12 minutes, so stick around for that. Meanwhile, we're talking with the movie guys, Tina, Craig, and Andy with us in the studio this morning, and taking calls from you at 474-2427. We've been talking about obscure movies, and Andy, when we ask you your favorite obscure movie, obviously the word obscure is kind of relevant, but
Relative.
And
relative, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Friday and I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Yeah, but during the commercial, I thought about this, and there's a movie, a New Zealand movie, not about zombies, so I'm let you off the hook with that. And it's called What We Do in the Dark, and it's about some roommates that live in New Zealand, and they're vampires, and one of them is like, geez, I don't know, 500 years old or something. But it's filmed in a kind of a documentary style, and it's just, the lives of these guys.
It's turned into a TV series.
And it's a TV series
Oh,
that's going to
really?
be starting immediately, I guess.
Wow.
Today, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the 29th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good.
Might be starting today on TV, a series. But it's just hysterically funny and completely sideways, the stuff that these guys get into. There's one great scene in the movie where they're out, and of course they only go out at night, naturally, because they're vampires.
Right.
And they're out on the promenade, in, I don't know what town they're in, Christchurch or someplace in New Zealand, and they run across a pack of werewolves, and they start making snarky comments about canines and stuff, and it just drives the werewolves crazy.
You know how those vampires are, they're so snarky.
Yeah, and they don't get along with the werewolves, so I mean, it's really funny.
Interesting.
I was just saying, with obscure films, that really is kind of occasionally you get a movie like What We Do in the Shadows where it works somehow, and it's just it's really kind of a dumb movie but somehow it all fits together and it works, and You know, the first Highlander movie was like that.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
Highlander.
Yeah, just
yeah,
this
yeah,
weird and
yeah.
it was just this strange, really, but it all came together somehow and it made
Yeah.
it work. And those are rare, but when it happens,
Yeah.
it's kind of neat.
I was gonna say Highlander because that is really a wonderful movie, and Christopher Lambert and Queen does the soundtrack.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go, all right. Hey, we got a caller on the line at 8 minutes in front of the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum, thanks for waiting. Hey there, how's it going?
that type of thing. But the Peter Sellers movie, The Mouse That Roared.
Oh, thank you,
The
thank
Mouse
you,
that
thank
Roared.
you. I saw that when I was a kid. I've never forgotten that movie. I love that movie.
Not so broke because they're making whatever wine or whatever, they've had a terrible crop. So they decide that to get out of the hole, they're going to declare war against the United States.
Right, and lose, right? Yeah, so they lose, right? Yeah, because they know that the United States has big bucks and they will rebuild the country. Yeah. Yeah. He does. He does. I think he plays the Duchess and also the head of the military.
And what's the name of this
The
again?
Mouse That Roared.
The
Oh my
Mouse That
gosh,
Roared.
thank you for reminding me of that. I love that movie.
Hey, you too, Terry, thanks.
That is just a wonderful
It's a
movie,
gem.
and it's really funny, but not like slapstick funny, you know, like Laurel and Hardy.
Right.
Snarky
But
funny.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a brain funny.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Columbia Pictures do anything like this before, but Columbia Pictures has the statue of the or the figure of the lady holding up a torch, and she's wearing like a Grecian garment, you know.
Yes.
And at the beginning of the movie, there's a little mouse comes onto her podium there, and she has to lift her skirt and kind of shy away from this little mouse. And it's really funny, and the whole movie is just terrific.
Mouse
Yeah,
That Roared.
yeah.
So, now you
Excellent.
mentioned you watched this when you were a kid, so
Yeah,
this goes
it's
back a few years.
It's 50s. It's
Yeah,
in the 1950s.
yeah.
It was, you know, because we'd won World War II, we were rebuilding Europe.
Marshall Plan.
Yeah, Marshall Plan, and so, you know, this little tiny country, I forget what it's called, but it's not Fredonia, that's one of the Marshall.
Nonsensica.
Yeah, something. But they know that if they declare war against the US, that they will lose, and then we'll rebuild them and spend big bucks. And so that's their plan.
And pretty timely back then because of
Yeah.
everything we were involved in.
Exactly.
Yeah, did you see, you mentioned Outlander.
Or Zoolander.
Oh, yeah, Zoolander.
Well, Highlander and
Oh,
Zoolander.
yeah, Highlander.
Yes, right, and a lot of landers here.
Outlander, about
Yes.
Sean Connery
Yes.
is on a mining mining camp, I guess, on one of the moons of Jupiter.
Right.
And wow, is that's I think sufficiently obscure.
I think sufficiently good and obscure.
Yeah, and really a great movie. And timely for me, I spent many years working in out of the way places in the Alaskan Arctic. So I had kind of an affinity for the movie because these guys are away from civilization completely.
Right.
And Sean Connery's in it, so it's great.
Of course.
Interesting. Another caller on the line, 5 minutes in front of the hour. Hi, you're on Rim Country Forum. Good morning. The event should be.
Oh, wow, that is great.
You should see Andy's face light up in that.
Wonderful
That's really good.
wonderful
Yeah.
series of books. They've been about 50 of them, I think. It takes about an hour and 11 minutes to read them, and they're all pretty much the same. But Remo Williams is a great, great character, and I love the master from the little. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah.
So then they have to come over here and rebuild us.
Yeah, there you go, really.
It just doesn't work.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call, appreciate it. Interesting. Now,
Boy, I haven't seen that one. Remo Williams, The Adventure
That's
Begins.
great.
And how far back does that date?
Oh, 60s, I guess, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think it was that far back.
Well, I don't
I
know.
would say 80s.
80s?
Yeah, been waiting for that one because it said, The Adventure Begins, and it began and ended. They never did another one, but
Wow,
that was good. I liked it too. Yeah.
interesting. So it begins and ends,
It ends,
all in
yeah,
one
yeah.
movie, yeah.
Speaking of movies from way back, how about Bill and Ted's
Great Adventure.
Great Adventure?
Excellent.
Excellent Adventure.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes back a ways.
There's another one.
Yep,
Yeah.
the long-awaited third in the series, to complete the series. There was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, followed by Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And now they're coming out with Bill and Ted's,
Retirement home,
well, kind of, yeah. They're grown up and they've got kids now.
right?
And
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves was one of the characters in it. So his first really popular movie. But they've been on TV recently. I've had a chance to review them, and they're still good, stupid fun.
Well, and Keanu Reeves, a lot of people knew from The Matrix and stuff like that, but in this movie, he's played like much more of like a valley guy
rugged.
type dude,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
And he does that quite convincingly, I might
yeah, they're from San Dimas, California.
So to
say.
give,
San Dimas.
San Dimas. So to give all of y'all something to think about, I was just thinking about Robert Altman and all of his films. The Player, Gosford Park, MASH,
Ooh,
the
yeah.
original, and so we might talk about Robert Altman films one of these fine days.
Good idea.
Yeah.
As if you don't every chance you get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
don't
know I
forget,
am.
speaking of not forgetting, don't forget that you can go online anytime and find out what's playing at the Sawmill Theaters by just going online to sawmilltheaters.com. You'll see what's playing, when it's playing, and all that kind of good stuff. Also, a week from tomorrow, the classic movie Saturday, that's at 10 o'clock in the morning?
10 a.m. Yes.
10 a.m.
Yes.
And that movie again for next week is
North by
North
Northwest.
by Northwest,
Yes.
that's right. that
It's
Alfred
only
Hitchcock
$5.
movie. Yeah.
We should do Tremors.
Oh, that, yeah, kind of worming around there.
Yeah.
Hey, we're out of time though, but we appreciate you tuning in to Rim Country Forum. It's been brought to you today by Banner Payson Medical Center, Little Stinker Septic Service, George Henry Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Off-Road Trash Company, Sweets by Kim Ross, and ITD Group Computer Services.